All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have all of you guys join us for a very important session. Right now, it's January 2022, right in the middle of the month, and it's never too late. It's always advised. And this is the best time of the season. Let's go ahead and start working with our business plan. For us as realtors, we all have seen how different one year goes to the next year, to the next year. And just because we've made, some of you guys in this room have already done a business plan in the past, I can tell you that it's always important to modify, adapt to the new normal in doing business, especially in real estate. Last year, we experienced in 2021, where it was a very, very limited inventory market. And agents were having to make sure that they show properties the first week. They had to be very sharp in how to polish and write offers within the first 3 or 4 days. And in 2021, you had to learn how to consult your clients, how to write aggressive offers, because many of these listings were getting 30, 40 offers that are over asking, right? And in 2020, 2021, limited inventory, there's only one happy client buyer that will get accepted. And for those of us who were part of the 29 other offers that didn't get accepted, we have to hopefully learn how to sharpen our tools, price those properties correctly, and learn how to do the nice ask to the listing agent, finding out how much competition, what price points they are. And some agents won't share a thing. And many times you can successfully extract a lot of information, which would make you more helpful to your client, correct? In years past, in 2018, 2017, 2016, it's all been a normal market, right? It was the only thing that we had to worry about was financing was tougher. There's less overseas buyers, there's less cash buyers. And so those are things that where we had to adapt. Instead of working with Chinese clientele who couldn't pull their money out, maybe we focused on the people here and we focused on listings always, right? So let's giving you a little update on how to forecast 2022. What are the struggling points in business, in falling escrows that are falling apart? Where are the areas that we can be sharper on? And obviously, we're already realizing a couple of different changes. Who can name a change that's occurred since last month?
VRP.
Okay. COVID. Someone's mentioned COVID. Okay. COVID hasn't gone away. It's just adapting to the new variant, and it's becoming now the Omicron. Okay. Sylvia mentioned there's a new RPA. That's the answer I was looking for. We have a new contract to deal with, right? There's other changes going on. I don't know if you guys noticed in your MLS, when you email out a email from your MLS, now it's a whole different new system, which not all of us like. I get it. Okay, it's faulty, it's buggy. It's not working properly. So now we have to adjust. Maybe we don't send the listings from MLS yet, and we figure out what's going to work. Maybe we send it from realtor.com or coldwellbanker.com. That site has the accurate information and it has your information. So anyway, that's just a couple of changes. And so I'm just telling you, code is going to change. Tax law is going to change. And so we always just got to redo our business plan year after year. Okay, that's a long way of saying it's important, and thank you for being here. Now, what is a business plan? Who can tell me? Again, this is going to be collaborative too. So those of you on Zoom, feel free to chime in as well or type in comments. But for those of you in my audience, so we got about 10 people here. What is a business plan?
It's something setting the course on your goals and dreams to get to that finish line.
Correct. So Sylvia says a business plan is something to set a course. It's to help navigate what your daily activities, weekly activities, and monthly activities. What is the course, the direction that you're going to go to succeed and reach your goals by the end of 2022? Okay, and this is what we are going to be helping you set up right now, adapting to your individual talents, because not all of us are on the same level. Not all of us have the same experience. Not all of us work in the same market area. And individually, we all have different talents. Some people are listing agents. Some people are very strong at networking and building relationships, but they might be terrible at paperwork. Maybe you're great at paperwork, or maybe Jung over here, he's great at construction and being able to identify materials and how to fix things. So I know every one of us, and those of you at home, we all have our own individual talents that needs to be thought of while we're creating our business plan. And I want you to use this time together. We're going to spend the next 2 hours really identifying our individual talents. And I want to have some self-reflection. So that's where you come into play. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your talents? Where can we use and tap the best out of ourselves? So that way our clients get the best service at the end of the day. Okay. So has anybody here never done a business plan? Okay. I got one over here who's not shy to say, because he's new to the business.
I never do a business plan.
Laura's never done a business plan. Thank you for participating. So this is going to be a good exercise because Laura has a very individual business. She does residential and commercial. She does business opportunities. She does land. So she knows a bit of everything, but it's great that we spend this time together focusing on a couple of things. So I have what's called the Tom Ferry business plan. And this is a recent one that is built for realtors. So it's going to be helpful to all of you guys. So those of you who are here and going to participate, we have copies up here for you to join. If you're going to be working at home, I'll pull up my screen. But before I go into a real estate business plan, I want you to understand that every single business needs to do this. And as a company, I wrote my own business plan as a company. As an agent, I have a separate plan for my individual activities and what I'm going to be doing for my goals. Secondly, you have your own business plan as well. But I want to give you an idea of what a business plan looks like for another industry. So I'm going to pull up a little my screen, and this is something that my client asked and said I can share. I asked permission. So I'm going to share with you one of my clients called JJ Boba, JJ Bakery. Okay, they're a Taiwanese family-owned business right here locally at TJ Maxx. They have a location here, but they also franchise and have multiple locations all throughout Southern California. Okay, many of you guys know them for their milk tea, and they have a very delicious boba. They also have a pork chop rice and pork chop noodles and beef noodle soup. So that's what they do well, along with bakery goods. Okay, it's just like 98 degrees or many of these Cantonese bakeries. They make a really nice fluffy bakery goods and they have lines. They have a very healthy business, and it's successful. Okay, so what are the elements of a business plan? Like I told you from the beginning, a business needs to have a direction, a navigation of where you want to be. It has to have who is the leadership or who is going to be the members operating and working on the activities. And it should have what's called your strengths and weaknesses, and what is your target audience, market area, what are you trying to focus on. So you'll see some elements here on what JJ Bakery Boba is doing. And they already did a well-written idea of what is their purpose in this community or in the state of California. They're looking to establish a food and drink service related establishment. They want to create a unique, flavorful recipes, finest ingredients, and have consistency and precise measurements to making sure the quality is consistent. Just like a Starbucks coffee, when you get a black or you get a Frappuccino or anything from every Starbucks, it should taste the same. Correct, right? And it's the same thing for us as agents. It doesn't matter if it's a $200,000 condo purchaser versus a $2 million luxury high-end client. We want to make sure that our service remains consistent, high-end quality, and we're not missing any checkboxes just because the price point is different. So as the owner and manager of JJ Boca, Jackie Song, they worked for Cha for Tea. That's where they built their experience. And now they're excited to operate and own their own businesses and use their experience and their past what they saw from the past and really showing how they can improve for the future. So who are the leaders? Okay, it's family oriented and they have an emphasis on equality, and everyone all participates in different ways on the workplace. And so they have partners, they have employees, and what is their business plan? It gets down to this section right here. They have a business process to utilize the free yet far-reaching market strategy of social media. So that's very important to them. They want to build business online. They want to market to probably the young people, because that's where the millennials and the people who drink these flavored bubble teas happen to be very young. Social media, they like to post their photos, and that branding helps expand their network and reach when people post stuff for you. So this is the fastest way to really exchange ideas, opinions, and hopefully get lots of 5-star reviews and Yelp and all that stuff. And they want to be remembered as a foundation of trust between producer and consumer, that the quality of the tea boba that they get will be of whatever, consistent high quality that they provide. Okay. Who is their demographic? Well, in Pomona, they have a location there. It's 150,000. That's one of the locations they were looking to expand to. So they even did this business plan, not for this Rosemead location right here in Temple City. They do a business plan specifically for each branch, or when they do a startup, correct? So that's something that you don't just ignore it just because you have one business. Maybe I have a business plan for my residential listings in my business this year. But like Laura and myself, we also work commercial. And so for those of us who do that or have other businesses that we operate, we have to create a separate commercial business plan. Where are we going to get our next lead? Correct? So thinking about this, now we're looking at what, so anyway, in this demographic here in Pomona, they did their demographics. They can see the cultural differences of the demographics. They also know that there's a heavy student population. So they want to be able to provide a lot of relaxing music so that the students can come and study while they drink lots of tea. Okay. Guess what? They don't give free refills at these tea places. There's no free refills. So they want to be near the high school. They have a certain population, and they want to have lunch specials, blah, 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 blah. So just showing you, they have a sales strategy too. In this position, Cha for Tea, they want to make a sales initiated where they don't underestimate the power of social media. They want to make sure that people, I don't know if you've been to any stores, but they say, oh, if you like and subscribe, or if you give us a 5-star review on Yelp, or you check in, they give you a free appetizer or a half off of this item or a free dish, this and that. That's because the business is smart. They know that when you check in or you write them a review, it goes 20-fold, 100 times fold online in building future business. And it's okay to give out a concession. It's okay to give out a free CMA. It's okay to spend 30 minutes with the customer and client, and you provide some service to them upfront in the hopes that this customer comes back to you and repeat business. And we want to do the same thing as real estate practitioners. They want to design new flavorful drinks. They want to have a flavor of the month or the seasonal drinks. And that's something that, so people come back for differences. And you see Starbucks doing that all the time. They had the pumpkin latte. In the Christmas time, they have the pistachio or different flavors of peppermint and stuff like that. So you can see here, they want to add snacks and add to the customer base. You can read through here. What are the healthier alternatives? Because people are trying to shy away from sugar. Okay. And they want to have a lunch deal from 11 to 12. All this stuff is very, very specific. And then you can see here, they have some of their new drinks that they're going to test out in the Pomona market. So they're going to do a strawberry matcha, a watermelon green tea, oolong cheese foam. Cheese foam doesn't sound good to me, but anyway, maybe the students like it. And they want to have this little granola type of breakfast esquite, gokui bun. These are different interesting items that I haven't seen over here at the Temple City location. And then they also put together a budget. I know so many realtors fail to put a budget towards their marketing, towards their expenses, planning ahead for taxes, and reinvesting in their own business. But they're putting together their salaries, their management fee, labor. You can see the depreciation expense for all of the upfront furniture, FF&E that they install in the property, furniture, fixtures, and appliances, and equipment, I'm sorry. So they're going to do a buyout, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, this is the last page. It talks about the success. They really want to go through their leadership and marketing strategies. They aim to maximize profits by analyzing the consumer wants and needs and incorporating the use of social media to reach customers. They strive to increase profits by satisfying customers, making sure they come back and they're repeat customers with high quality flavors and unparalleled service. And I do see when I visit JJ Bakery, you know, the staff does treat you very nicely, well, and I know they only, a lot of times they may not speak English that well, but at the end of the day, they're trying, okay? And so when we look at this, they want very clean places, trendy places to be, comfortable environments, and you will see that at every single JJ Bakery. Now, that's just an example to illustrate what another business has to do. This is where the portion, because it helps to see the end goal. Now let's start working on the individual areas of our own business plan. So we have a business plan here called the Tom Ferry business plan. Those of you at home, I hope you guys can see this. Yes or no? Let me share my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. So those of you at home can see my screen now. And this is Tom Ferry giving a pump up motivational business plan in 2019. And it's essentially what we're looking for. People had to pay a lot of money to attend with Tom Ferry. And he provides a lot of cool stuff. Coaching is one of the things that he does well in coaching agents that really want to push the next level. And I personally prefer Tom Ferry to Mike Ferry. He's the son, because he uses a little bit more technology. He's a little bit more current and younger, newer ideas of how we gather new business. He embraces social media versus Mike Ferry is very old-fashioned way. But at the end of the day, every person can focus on how they want to do it. If you want to do your business old-fashioned, you still want to door knock, you still want to do open houses, and you still want to do it with mailers or door hangers, that's fine, okay? But just understand that every single strategy may have different results, okay? Because you know the old-fashioned, if it's not broken, why not? You don't need to fix it, kind of thing. But if you really want to get different results, sometimes you do have to try different things. Okay, so that's all my guidance on that. Let's start with this quote right here. The realization of your plan is worth more than any single transaction. Refuse to let your business interfere with the plan. Trust the process. And that's the point of what we need to make inside is trust our own process. And a lot of us may get rejection. We may get failure for the first month, for the first 2 months on the new process that we're trying to start. But it usually takes us several months, or it takes it takes 21 days in order to break a habit. Okay, scientifically speaking, let's say I wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day and exercise as part of my routine. I could do it for the first day. I could do it for the day 2. Day 3, I might struggle, but I won't make this change effective in my mind, in my brain, in my heart, and with just the full, I guess, my full body won't make that habit change unless I do it 21 days straight. Okay, then it will be very normal for me to wake up at 6 a.m. every day and go exercise for an hour if I focused and made this a part of the process of my daily routine. You guys can do the same thing too in your lives. It doesn't have to be all business related. I do think it's very important for you as realtors to focus on your health and having a systemized routine where you wake up, get some exercise, get your coffee, get some breakfast, however you want to do it, that's fine. But if you create that routine for yourself and then boom, 9 o'clock happens and you're ready to start making phone calls or you're starting to ready to do your emails. That's how you really get in a routine of making sure you're efficiently managing your time. So now let's talk a little bit about what's going on and do a little bit of reflection. Before I start on the business plan, and we're going to create our own business plan, guys. Any questions or things that you want me to add or share prior to doing the, this is the part where it's interactive. Sylvia, do you want to say anything about business planning that you want to share with the audience? And then we're going to start pumping this out.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sylvia's
Kelvin.
here, guys.
I'm here. Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you. Good to see you, Laura. Appreciate you being there. And everyone else, I know Gina and everybody, we have quite a few people here in person. I'll remove this just for a little bit so you can hear me better. So part of the business planning is I like to look at my personal business planning. I like to share with you is as an ongoing working board. So Kelvin mentioned something that is very, very important, which we usually don't set up at the beginning of the year, and that's a budget. So it's important to have a budget and be mindful of what you're going to spend on marketing and project that throughout the year. If you have a small budget, let's just say you have a $500 budget for the whole year, then be mindful of how you're going to allocate that towards whatever you're going to target. What is your target? So for example, Kelvin also mentioned health. Part of my health is for me to be conscious is to teach and educate and frame my brain muscle to stretch every morning. So I made it part of my goal to see a chiropractor. So I don't need to have a problem, an issue in order to go see a chiropractor. So I see that as preventative health maintenance. So that's part of my goal. So what I like for you to take away from this is what Kelvin's saying. It's not just the business, the monetary, the work that you're doing, but it's also your personal. What I have here, for those of you that are on Zoom, what I have here is stretch, walk, sing, dance, read, cycle, nap, sell more communities, love my dog, love my husband, better indoor quality living. We're spending a lot of time indoors, so why not make it better quality of indoor living? And then I have, I love this part right here. I sent to most of you. And for those of you that are my community on WeChat, I sent this. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. And how you leave others feeling, after you interact with you, it becomes your trademark. That's your trademark, guys. Don't believe otherwise. And going on and on and on, I'm going to hand it over to Kelvin, but I do have a sample board. I have an erase board. It could be like Hung was sharing. It could be an Amazon board. It can be any type of a board. It can just be in your head if you have a great memory. But I know that what I write down and I look at, it becomes reality. I know that this year I'm going to buy income property, and I'm going to believe that. And Kelvin has helped me believe that, because the Ramos Group has always put clients first, and clients first. But you know what? It's time I put me first, and it's time I put we first. And part of that is setting boundaries. So I'm going to hand it over to Kelvin, and I'll come back. Thank you.
Well, let me help you with that goal, Sylvia. If you want to buy income property, I got a great listing for you. And I'm just playing with you, but I am going to sell you a listing, okay? Because you do this to me, and I can tell you a good deal, and I'll let you know if that's your goal.
Thank you.
And it's great to share your goals too, okay? Because when you share your goals with your loved one, your spouse, your family, and she kind of opened up to you and sharing to the public, she wants to buy income property this year, it will happen. Why? The laws of attraction. Things gravitate towards you. Things gravitate towards something that reminds you. And she probably has a duplex in her mind that she wants to buy, and she'll put some sort of duplex on her vision board to remind her that she needs to reach that goal this year. Okay. And you could do it too. We're going to create a vision board at part 2 of this session today. For the second hour, we're going to work on that together. Let's focus first and do a little bit of reflection. Okay. In 2021, let's talk about a little bit about your own business review. Those of you who are newer, Jung, like for example, like you, just in this time, just imagine what you, for those of you who haven't done it or newer, focus on what your goal would be for this year in 2022 when we do this exercise. Now, if we look at our sales volume in 2021, sales volume means how many thousands or 100,000s did you sell? If you sold 5 homes in 2021, all of them were $1 million each. My sales volume was $5 million. That's pretty healthy. I sold $5 million worth of real estate. So those of you who are like Lara, and you're a powerhouse person, she probably sold and leased more than $10 million worth of real estate. She did that in one transaction where it was like 2 point something million and whatnot. But the volume is not necessarily the key thing you got to look at. You also got to look at your commission rate. Because if you do $10 million worth of real estate and your gross commission is only $100,000 for that 10 million volume, that means you're a weak agent, because although you sold 10 million, you only retained a 1% commission rate. And that's not good for a realtor, right? So that's why you got to reflect on, maybe I'm giving out too many concessions to my client. Maybe I'm not, because the average real estate commission right now should be roughly 2.25%. Okay, I've ran my numbers on MLS for our area. Some people offer more, 2.5%, 3%, and everything is negotiable. Don't forget, I'm just giving you the average. Some people offer only 2%. Some sellers only offer a flat fee. Some sellers or brokers only offer $100. So when you're looking at your gross commission, your take of the gross commission, okay, I want you to have a goal of being better than average. That means that your gross commission hopefully should be percentage-wise more than 2.25% annually overall. That's number one, okay? Obviously, if you do a land sale or a mobile home sale, we should be charging 8 to 10%, right? So at the end of the day, hopefully it'll balance itself out, okay? Does that make sense right here? Okay. Now, you also got to look at the number of transactions, guys. Let's say your gross commissions was $100,000, because that's an easy number for us to work with, and that's a common goal. A lot of us want to make 100,000 or more, right? 6 figures. So transaction-wise, I have people doing $100,000 in 2 deals. Okay, they did. Okay, and I have some people making $100,000, and they had to do 30 deals to get that 100,000. Okay, I don't care how you do it. You could either A, focus on luxury $1 million listings and get 1 or 2 great sales, or you could work on volume and repeat business, and maybe they're lower end. Maybe you had to do a bunch of $300,000 condos. I understand that's what your clients want. But the number of transactions is what's keeping you busy, and hopefully your volume is high enough that you can survive the ups and downs, right? But another key thing is to track is your number of appointments that you're making with prospects. And so if you are going out on 50 listing appointments per year, it's important to track how many of that percent are you closing and winning. So if you're doing 50 listings appointments per year, that's doable. That's only about 4 a month. That's 1 a week. Okay. That means that you need to be hopefully getting a win ratio. And I would say I would like you guys to be at 50% or better list to winning ratio, appointment to list ratio. But not everyone is that great. Some people have a batting average of less than 50%, like only 10, 20%. That tells me, let's work on your listing appointment. Let's work on your presentation skills. Because obviously this person who is able to get 40 or 50 listing appointments, they're doing something right. They're marketing themselves. They're getting in front of the customer prior to listing. So all of those activities to get to that step was great if you got 40 or 50 listing appointments. But if you didn't close on more than 50%, that means we need to all we need to identify is work on is your presentation. What are you like when you talk? Are you convincing? Are you smiling? And well, like Sylvia said, that's your trademark, your signature is your smile. But at the end of the day, a smile is only halfway. You got to get them to sign. You got to get, and to get them to sign, sometimes you have to have trust. They have to believe in you, and you have to justify your what you bring to the table, your value proposition. So I'm going to use that word a lot, value proposition today. Now, when we look at this, you got to look at the number of listings and buyers that you've talked to. How many of these transactions were leases? How many were referred to you? Don't forget to appreciate the people who referred you business. I so often see that you've had an old client refer you business, and you thank them at the beginning, thank you, but you don't forget to thank them, and when you close, you forget to thank them in the future, because those little kind words, or a lunch, or a get together, just a quick coffee, anything like that really goes a long way in building that relationship for life, right? So look at this, reflect in yourself, and hopefully you could plug in your numbers so that way you can really track how, and then when we come around this time again next year, we'll be able to track how far we are from our goal. And hopefully many of you will say you hit your goal, okay? So let's talk about those goals, okay? Helen, okay, what was your goal in 2021 for production? Just give me any number that that in beginning of 2021, how much money did you want to make?
100,000.
Okay, Helen wanted to make over $150,000 in real estate sales. That's a lofty goal. That's a healthy goal. It's a realistic goal because it's doable. And she did set herself a task of really increasing her production, because in her years past, you haven't reached that goal yet. I don't know, or maybe you were close 1 or 2 years. 2021, did you hit your goal?
No, not really. It's kind of.
But I know your production. You're very close to it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Helen, but I called on you for a specific reason. Helen was really close to that goal of $150,000. Okay, she set herself heart on it. She worked hard this past year during a crazy market. She represented lots of buyers, and she was able to adapt by getting a lot of her buyers into escrow, which was very tough this last year. Okay, she perseveres, she's persistent, she follows up, and I see her a lot of times with her clients, and they're having great discussions, and they're winning. Okay, they thank her for helping her, and she is really solving problems and getting her offers accepted and writing good offers because she's experienced, and I'm happy to say you've pretty much reached your goal. That's kudos to you. You're an award winner in 2021. So I'm just very, very proud to see you shine and reach some success in 2021. But when we're setting up ourselves in 2022, okay, it's a different market, it's a different year, but we need to set our own goal right now. Envision something right now. You got to factor in what is your life plans, any life changes. Some people might be having children, some people might be having a move or whatnot. But at the end of the day, for real estate, if you focused in this business and assuming all of the distractions we have in our lives, how much sales do you want to do and how much commission do you want to make? Reflect at this time right now to think, I want to sell, who knows, $10 million worth of real estate. Okay, great. And how much commission do you want to make? I want to make $200,000 this year, Helen. Okay. Or $180,000, hit a higher goal. John, what's your goal? 150?
Yeah, no,
200. John wants to make over 200,000 this year. Okay. And you can. Okay. It's not going to be easy though, because guess what? if nothing comes easy in life, some things are people think blame it on luck. Some people blame things on or try to, when things don't go right, they always look for excuses. Oh, I didn't have enough reserves, or I didn't have a right plan, or I didn't have enough friends or clientele. I didn't study hard enough.
It's the pandemic.
A pandemic is, the shipment, my shipments are coming in, or my business is suffering. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, nature, laws of gravity, science, COVID, pandemic, viruses, we're always gonna have a freaking issue every year. It's gonna be family ones, it's gonna be funerals and deaths, unfortunately. There's gonna be divorces, there's gonna be things going on in your lives that are not gonna go the way you plan. And that is the beauty of life. Nothing can be fully planned ahead. But there are gonna be ups and downs, there are gonna be things that surprise you. Is how do you react to the things that are outside your control? The pandemic is outside of control, okay? And sometimes tenants losing their jobs or not paying you rent is outside our control. But what's in our control is our activities every single day. What's in our control is our business plan and what we're gonna operate towards. And hitting our goals, that's in my control. Because I know if I set my heart on it and I wanted to sell $10 million worth of real estate, I know I can do it. Okay. And I know you can do it too. I have full faith in each and one of you, even you at home at Zoom, that you can reach your goal. But expect it to be hard. Expect it to challenge you. It should disturb you a little bit. It should make you feel a little uneasy, because some of us, that's called your good and your bad conscience right now talking behind you. A lot of us have that evil little devil that you see in the cartoons that's saying, you can't do that. You can't sell $10 million of real estate. You can never be a luxury $1 million listing client, a seller, a listing agent. You can never sell and break into commercial real estate. Guess what? That's the evil little devil speaking behind you, trying to set you up for failure.
And he does not wait.
And he doesn't stop.
He doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep. He's always going to be on your shoulder. And this side right here, we're working on the little church, that little not church, the saint, the one that really wants to the pure reach and do good and do the things that you want to accomplish in life, so that you can share with your family, so that you can provide, so that you can reach your goals and go on that vacation or buy that fancy car or nice, beautiful income property. That pure saint on your shoulder is going to guide you morally, consciously, and ethically. And that devil right there is going to try to hopefully set you up for failure by making you have all the excuses you need to not succeed. And you want to ignore that damn devil that's on your shoulder, throw it off and brush it off like this and say, I can do it. Okay. So how are we going to do that? We really got to learn how to, in our minds, in our conscious, we need to build up our own confidence. And if you right at the bat are saying, like Jung says, he's a brand new rookie agent and he's trying to make $200,000. A bad broker would say, are you crazy? You want to make $200,000 in your first year of real estate? And if I told him that you can't do that, I am a bad broker, because I know he can do it, because he's a smart dude. He has a great attitude. He's hardworking and he has a great foundation. I want, as a good broker, I should be supporting those goals. We should be figuring out a plan on his talents and focus, how to get there. And we'll build that plan together. I have no doubt. Okay. It's going to be a struggle, but guess what? Just like a butterfly struggling to break that cocoon, it takes time. Sometimes some of us not in the right place at the right time, in the right mindset, but hopefully we're going to all break out of that cocoon. We're going to turn that ugly caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly, simply by focusing first on your mindset, your attitude, and your own confidence. I can't repeat that any further.
And the Ramos group is here to nurture.
Okay, and Sylvia says she's here to nurture your goals. Now that we've put some numbers into place, I'm a person of believing in well-balanced individuals. Okay. No one should be 100% work, because life is not about working. We all work so that we can live and provide. Okay. We don't live to work. Okay. There's a different way of looking at things. So with that, we all should have other life goals established, thought about, reflected upon. What are the things that we want to accomplish in our lifetime? Not just this year. I want you to focus and think about in your life, what is it that you want when your funeral is on, it comes approaching, and you want people to think about all the great things you've done or accomplished, accolades, or just what you've felt and that impression you've given to some people. What do you want them to say about you? What do you want them to think about you? The first three things of their mind. Okay. And secondly, it's important to separate what are your goals, because we all have different types of goals. In the screen here, we have physical goals. Some of us physically want to lose 20 pounds. Some of us physically want to reduce our blood sugar content or our blood pressure rate because some of us are high, what's that word I'm looking for? Potentially diabetes, or we have too much sugar intake, and we're borderline, whatever you're looking at, diabetic. Okay. Some of us have physical goals of, I want to get a boob job, or I want to get a nose job, or anything like that. If that's your goal, that's your goal. That's fine. Okay. Or liposuction, I don't care. But just remember, physically, it could be anything. It could simply just be, I want to pump up muscles, so I want to be able to physically bench press 2 plates. Okay. So whatever your physical goal is, write it in here. And don't just have one. Have some life goals physically for yourselves, like physically could also be tangible things. So physical, tangible, maybe I want to get a beautiful Porsche, or I want to buy I want to buy an income property. You could also write your physical, tangible things here. Now, relationship. Okay. Relationships doesn't necessarily mean intimacy. Relational means you and who is your circle and your network around you, your family, your relatives, your friends, your past clients, and even whatever. Relationships don't necessarily have to be love and intimacy. Just letting you remind you that. Think about all the relationships you want to have. Do you want to have thousands of people on your Facebook friends? Okay, because I use the word friends because I don't think I have 1,000 people, but if I don't consider them friends. Sometimes they're just acquaintances that I know. So some people have goals of reaching YouTube or Instagram, a bunch of followers. Okay, that's the young millennial generation. That's what they think of when they think of relationships, guys. But for those of us who are a little bit more old school, okay, friendship is relationships is what our friend. What do we nurture? What kind of events do we celebrate together? What kind of dinner functions, or maybe because like my family, we have a Sunday gathering. Let's always eat together as a family as a Sunday, or something like that. And that's something that we establish as a relationship to keep our family together and see each other once in a while. Okay, traditions, holidays, those are all great things, right? So what are your relationship goals? Fill this in here. Some of us have moved to California or whatnot, or entered this business, and we don't have a lot of relationships with, for example, maybe you want to create relationships with a bunch of different affiliates who can help you reach your goals. I want to pick my go-to lender for conventional, my go-to lender for jumbo. I want my go-to lender for FHA clients and military VA clients. And I want to have a go-to lender for foreigners and non-QM products. Okay, you could do that. That's a business relationship that you should establish. And then I need to build my team of remodeling people. I need a plumber, a contractor. I need an electrician. I need a flooring person. I need someone who can do bathrooms. I need someone who can do odds and ends and recessed lighting and help me get good pricing and estimates for my customers. If that's your goal, I definitely tell you that's going to be very helpful in your business and real estate, being able to have a network of qualified and vetted professionals to support you in your business and support your clients. Maybe you need to add some people on your team, like an attorney or people that generate leads for you. That's a relationship thing that you need to establish. I want to get a probate attorney to send me leads. I need to get divorce attorneys to get me leads. I need to get people who are investors, like a real estate investment trust. I need builders. I need people who are going to buy my products or land, or they want me to send them deals that they want to write offers on quickly. And I need investors, right? Sometimes it's great to have investors behind you, because when I see a product or something that I want to buy or I want to participate in, I need to be able to quickly find and raise capital. Okay. So those are all things I'm telling you. If in the grand scheme of things, this is how you set up a working great business in real estate. You need to have great people who are surrounding you. So escrow is another one, title's another one, home warranty and all these other things. Yes, I'm less important on those, but the significant ones is generating leads, guys. Who can generate leads for you? Obviously, you want to develop relationships with people who are in front of people who are preparing to sell their home. So you want people that might be remodelers. You might want people who are in the school system, because a lot of times they report changes. Okay, you want to get in front of people who deal with marriages. Okay, because that when you have a wedding, usually they end up buying and having a baby. And so doctors are great too, because you start knowing people who know they're looking to buy, or they want to increase or decrease their household. Divorce attorneys, exactly. So, boom, moving on to the financial settings. Okay. Let's assume $100,000 was your income and your goal. Okay. And if $100,000 was your income, we can simply easily increase our household income by doing a couple of things. You could increase your income by reducing your expenses, increasing your savings. You could also tweak and start to plan ahead financially. What are the things that I absolutely need on a monthly basis? So everyone, we can all say is we need to have our house or where we're living. So we have to separate and set aside $3,000 mortgage payment or a $3,000 monthly rent, but you're paying for your landlord. I don't care what it is. You got to separate your insurance. You got to separate your license, your business taxes, and the fixed fundamentals like our NAR, car NAR dues, MLS dues, Supra. All of those are essential to our business, correct? There are other essential things in your house. You need to provide, right? You need to eat. You need a car. You need your auto loan and expenses and your gasoline and utilities are definitely a must. Okay. Now, we've put together all of your necessities and essentials to your business. In another column, separate out the things that you love or like to have, but are not necessarily essential to your lifestyle. Some of us have things like SiriusXM, Spotify, or Netflix. That's considered non-essential, technically. I could live without a few months of YouTube TV or Netflix, guys, and you can too. All right. There's some other non-essential things, and that's just one, but non-essential things could be like entertainment expenses, dining outside. Like, let's say your budget was, I need to have, and I always go to, I don't know, what's a fancy place here? Ruth Chris Steakhouse every week. Okay. Instead of doing that once a week of a Ruth Chris-like establishment, maybe I would do it once a month. Okay. Because if you want to have a higher household income, the first area you reduce is your non-essential areas. Okay. So I'm not going to explain that any further, but you guys get the point, right? Yeah. Spiritually is some missing element in many of us. Don't forget to set goals spiritually for your lifetime. Now, Some of you guys are saying, Kelvin, I don't have a religion. I don't believe in God. I'm what's that word?
Atheist.
Atheist.
Right.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not here to speak on that. Regardless if you have religious belief or not, everyone should have a spiritual strength. Okay, because spiritually is part of your mind and your body and your spirit. You should be thinking about yourself, what makes you happy, what makes you feel that you can sleep well at night. You're conscious, spiritually, who are you kind of spreading that love and joy and cheer around those around you? And you can just tell when there's someone who has that aura around them. You can kind of see that they seem to have, they always have they neat appearance. They always look great. They always are prepared. They're sharp. That if you want to become like that, you want to be that well prepared, dressed up, and seems to have everything perfect on the outside. I mean, I can tell you they still have their problems at home. Don't get me wrong. But spiritually, they're in one. Okay. And if you're having trouble sleeping at night, if you have trouble what you said to a client and you're having a dispute, or you kind of have a lot of different what's called chaos in your life, it's probably because you're not consistent in your thoughts and beliefs. It's because you maybe say something, but you do another. So hopefully you can unify your thoughts and beliefs with your actions so that you are spiritually all in one, and you know and what you are, because what you are is just speaks louder than what you say. So write down some spiritual goals for yourself, reflect in 2022 and beyond, because we're going to circle back on this. Okay, I want to come back to this, because don't just fill out this homework and throw it away. This is something that we should come back and circle back to and expand on. And like Sylvia said, we need to we might want to do a 6 month in between, change our business plan because the business changed too. Most of us in this business jumped into real estate, went through the hoops of the DRE application, passed the examination, and joined this firm. We all did this for some sort of reason, and our reasons are different. Sylvia, can I ask you, why did you get your license and become in real estate?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that question.
What's your why?
Okay, so my why, it's not money, it's not commission. It's not because I love houses. It's not because I love people. The reason I got into this business is because I know too many people that were done wrong by their realtor or / real estate agent. My dad trusted in somebody that was his best friend, somebody that was his notary, his CPA, and also his real estate agent, and sold on my home on a corner next to a busy street, next to a liquor store infested with roaches. So things like that, I didn't come well to me. The other reason is when I first bought my own home, as a young 23-year-old, I did go up to the homeowner, not knowing anything about real estate, and said, I'd like to buy your house. And the owner said, come on in. I sat down and they said to me, what makes you feel like you're qualified to buy the house? I say, well, I am approved by a lender. And they asked me, why do you like my house? And I said, I like your house because it doesn't have sidewalks. It doesn't have street lights. It's almost a 1/4 acre land, and I want to raise my family here. So back then it was 150,000, but interest rate was about 13%. So my realtor, I called my realtor, came down to the house, sat in the living room with the homeowners after I had spoken with them. And they said, yes, they would sell me the house at 145,000. I thought it would be a good price. I knew nothing about real estate. So what ended up happening was my realtor, which was my best friend's husband, I'm sure you've all had a situation like that, says to me in front of the sellers, next time, don't negotiate the price because it's peanuts for my commission. So from that day forward, I realized that my husband saw something in me for many years. He said, you should become a realtor. He never said you should be a real estate agent. He said, you should become a realtor. I said, no. my myth about realtors were all you think about is commission, selfish. I stereotype them to just be wearing ties and being forceful on you, snobby, fancy cars. You know, it was just too much for me. No one, very pretentious. I have the little voice in the back. So no one, thank you, Kelvin. To me, it just wasn't me. My husband says, Sylvia, your personality is great to sell property. I said, my personality is my personality. That's my signature. It's not something to sell something to somebody. I've been told that I can sell somebody back their own underwear. You know what? Maybe I can. I've been told I'm a hustler, but I tell my clients, because they're mainly law enforcement clients, I tell them, as long as you say I'm a fair hustler, I'm okay with that word. So at the end of the day, Kelvin also mentioned something about the conscious mind. For myself and for Mark, what helps us sleep at night is knowing that we did good. When we show property, we don't show it driven on commission. So to answer the question at the end of the day, I became a realtor to be the difference. I became a realtor to be the change. I really became a realtor because I have an opportunity to be a counselor, a social worker, a teacher, sometimes a student, sometimes a dog watcher. I get to be a lot of things that we all do. I don't practice law. I don't give any advice on law, but I will do whatever my clients need me to do as far as helping them get to where they need to be. What is their next destination? It's not just listing their home, but what is the exit plan? Where are you going? They're afraid of the word downsizing. I said to myself, I will never use the word downsizing. I do not. I use the word right sizing. So for my clients is, let's right size you, you know, and they said, you should market yourself like McDonald's, you know, like French fries or something, you know, right size. But no, at the end of the day, I'm a realtor because I can explore different communities. I can explore being around different people. I can explore being interviewed. I love being interviewed, especially panel interviews. If there's 6 people in front of me and a family and they all want to interview me, bring it on, because I will bring my A game. I love that. I've only been asked once if I have a degree. I asked the for sale by owner, how is that important to you? And he said, I just want somebody with a degree. So I turned the table and asked him, I said, Mr. Homeowner, what did you major in? So I turned the table around on him, and at the end of the day, he was an unreasonable person. He just wanted to entertain interviewing women. So sometimes we have to be sharp. I believe that what I do love and what I'm passionate about is my schedule. I get to be my own CEO. I have not missed my payroll in the last 2 years of the pandemic, which I'm very grateful for. I am grateful to be able to have the wisdom to be able to be at a brokerage like this one that cares, an agency that cares, and an agency has a lot of heart. I have that wisdom. Kelvin asked this earlier. What would people say at your funeral? I've asked that question many times to many people. I said, tell me what you think of me now, not at my funeral. It's interesting that I ask that question all the time. It's important that we tell people how we feel about them in person while they're alive, not while they're dead in a coffin. So, you know, I've been told, you know, you bring the sunshine in the room, you're confident, you're well put together, resourceful, you are a community engaging, the list goes on. The reason I'm confident in sharing that with you is because I'm constantly being told that. So put yourself in a position where people will believe in you, have that chemistry with you. And, you know, don't let anybody fool you that it's about, oh, it's just this many solds. Oh, I sold this and I sold that. Because the first thing I learned I did not want in a realtor in my own living room. Don't tell me how many homes you've sold. Don't tell me how much money you have or what, you know, be there for me. Listen to what's important for me, not what is important for you. I actually had a realtor come to my house once, and many years ago. And I said, I want to interview you to sell my house. I wanted to see what this person's game was because she was constantly sending me postcards. And I said, don't send me no more postcards of what you're selling. I don't want to know what you're selling. I want to know what your style is. I want to know what an active listener you are. I want to know your body language. I want to know what you're like in my living room, what other people are going to see in you that I'm going to see in you, or maybe something that I'm not going to see in you. So this person came. She never let me speak once. She just rattled on, and I had to escort her to the front door. So yes, it was a female, no names mentioned, but learn from us, learn from myself, learn from Kelvin, learn from each other. Hung here went on a listing appointment the very next day after he got hired. And he was, I have to say, not because he's here, but he was magnificent. Why? Because he mirrored me. He mirrored me. He sat there, he fit in, he blended, he was complimentive, not too much. And it was not a chasing tail conversation, to the point where the seller turned around and looked at Hung and said to Hung, you're very lucky to have Sylvia to be your mentor. And I thought, whoa, that's pretty cool. So be that person that people say positive things about you. Don't be that person, like that saying, be at the table with people who are going to help you grow. Choose the people that are going to be building you, edifying you, because I'll tell you this, if you don't want to be loved and nurtured and feel great and be given positive affirmations daily and help you grow and help develop you, then don't come see me. Come see me to help you like a tree. All the little leaves that are growing. Think of a tree as part of your vision board. All the little leaves that you're going to nurture. More little birds are going to come and lie on it. And think of that as all your clients. So I hope I answered your question, Kelvin.
Oh yeah, you did.
Perfect. Thank you.
We didn't rehearse this at all, but I know she knows her why. I didn't know what she was going to say, but she came down and nailed down her own why without preparation. So I'm proud of her for sharing why she joined this real estate, why she got in this position. This is the moment where you think about, why did you join real estate? Okay. Why did you get your license? To help others? Is it because you want to help yourself? Because you wanted to have your own freedom of your schedule, she mentioned. You know, those are a lot of my whys as well. So personally speaking, I'll share my why. And same time, if you think of something or something reminds you of something that for yourself, write it down here, because we should have many whys why we're in this business. The more whys you fill out and remember in front and recall, the stronger you are in executing this business plan when we're all done. Okay. Now think about this. What are my whys in real estate? And my whys have changed over the years. Okay. I got licensed in 2005. I was fresh out of college. I graduated from Berkeley. I was a fraternity. I was having a lot of fun. And I got into in real estate. Why? At that time, it was because my dad told me to. Honestly, my dad said, get your license, quick, broker license. Okay, so I just said, okay, I just did it, and I breezed through all the 7 classes I had to take and passed the exam eventually. Now, I didn't do a lot of sales in 2005. I actually got my first sale my first week, but I didn't work very hard, because back then in 2005, you had to be a listing agent, and anything you touched that was a listing was sold. I didn't get a lot of listings when I was young. I had a couple of buyers, but they're all young and they're not ready yet. But so I sold quickly. I got experienced quickly, but I wasn't hungry enough. Okay. So I didn't sell a ton of real estate in my early years as a broker. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, I had a little bit of an interruption.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. So when I don't know where you last heard me, but when I was first in the industry in real estate, I didn't focus. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't know where I was getting my next lead. And I came in without a strong why. To be quite honest, my why was because my dad told me to. Okay. And over the years, my why has changed. Okay. I started realizing that when I was first working in this office, I was helping everybody with technology. I was fixing their computers. I was being like a technical, like an assistant. And I was helping people with language, with English, with writing a description. Okay. So I got staffed in as just a helper. And at that time, you know, I started realizing I needed to be more helpful to the agents. I actually felt I needed to learn Chinese, okay, because our office had some Mandarin speakers. I decided and said, you know what? I'm not doing a lot of sales right now. I'm gonna go overseas, and I lived in China, Shanghai, for a year. So I made a plan to go alone, live and see the world, live in another country, and learn Chinese. So I changed my own personal, I guess, to be more helpful in general. I said I need to learn a little bit of Mandarin. So then I moved overseas, and while I was over there, then I started talking and learning about people having young success. I saw a lot of what you call expats who are building businesses and doing great things and having success in their lives. And I started networking and having more people to kind of just relate to and learn from. And then coming back from then, I figured out a little bit more of my why. This office needed me. They needed another leader. They needed another broker. They needed someone who's stronger and sharper and helpful. This office needed, and the agents needed someone not only to speak Mandarin or be conversational, they also needed someone to lead. I realized that they needed someone to step up, guide them, because many people weren't fortunate enough to have the life experience that I've had. And so I learned a lot by being globally just traveling and meeting a lot of people and seeing different societies and seeing poverty. I've been able to learn that this world is much, much bigger than just our own little business, just our own little things. But I do understand that the small little touches and impressions that we make on our loved ones in our network and our family, those go a long way in trust, in having what we want to fulfill our lives with hopefully a room full of people who just remembered you for being such a great person, for having great character, for having integrity, for being considerate, for always being the one reaching out, because a lot of people don't reach out, guys. I don't know how many people you've lost as friends in the last 2 years since the pandemic. There's so many people that I used to regularly see, and because of the COVID pandemic, I've lost touch with many people. Think about the people that you've lost touch with. It's not that they don't love you or they're not your friends anymore, guys. It's because it needs someone to reach out with their hand out or with a phone call. God damn it, I haven't seen you in a long time. I know it's COVID and this and this and that, but we need to get together. When are you free next week? I want to have lunch with you. It needs that person to have the confidence to reach out your hand and say, let's meet and schedule something together. I really need to see you because I want to share something with you. And you can have it and build whatever excuse you want, but just that intimacy, that friendship, that connection, it needs you to build that connection back, that bridge, right?
I think at least in our more Asian culture, we're not less likely to be the first one to reach out. Like I know, like my other friends, like Mexican friends, or white friends, even black friends, they're more active like when in reaching out. As Asians, you're kind of waiting. Like that's kind of the way
Asians have John is saying here, and it's true. Asians have a kind of I don't know, some sort of impression or of being very passive, being not too aggressive, just kind of easygoing and not in the spotlight.
Yeah.
But you know what? As realtors, I don't care what your culture is. I don't care what your personality of you used to be. But in real estate, we kind of have to be a little bit more first foot forward, a little bit of that reaching out person, a little bit of aggressive confidence, but you can do it without being pushy. It's okay to ask someone out. And I could tell you to change your business from what you personally are, because everyone might be passive or shy at home. That's fine. But when it comes to business, if I don't reach my hand out or build that bridge or ask them to, who do you know that needs my help right now in the next 1 to 3 months? Who can you refer me to? If I didn't do that, that referral is going to go to another lousy agent who's not going to represent them the best way that you could. So I'm doing my justice to the community and to my world and to my network. I need to tell everybody I'm here available for them because it's for their own good. Because I know they're going to get represented by someone who's less capable, talented, or caring as I am. Correct? So change your mindset. Jung, even though you're Asian and you're saying, it's just kind of maybe my family or we're just kind of quieter, I could tell you, don't make excuses on being timid, being passive, being shy, or scared of public speaking, or any of that crap that devil is on your shoulder telling you to prepare you for failure. Okay? Because I know you're a nice guy. Nice guys tend to, the saying is nice guys finish last.
Right.
I don't want you to finish last, Mr. Nice Guy, because I'm a nice guy too. All right?
I'm a nice person too.
So anybody else, when we're filling out this my why, I want to ask the audience to participate. Is there anything that you want to share, 1 or 2 whys of why you are in this business?
I like to call Laura out and ask her what her why is.
Laura, why are you in this business?
I do.
My experience is very similar to Sylvia, because like back in 2017, when I got my license, I want to purchase my house, my properties, and I went to like a brokerage in Montreal Park, and
Mhm.
people, they just like so cold. They didn't even ask like which area I want to be. They just like, did you pre-approved?
Mhm.
They didn't give me any direction. So I'm like,
They're looking at their
okay.
own dollar signs before listening to your needs and wants.
Exactly. And this is why I'm like, I'm not going to have you, this type of person, get the commissions. I'm getting my house by myself. So this is why I got my license.
I'm very happy that you had that experience because it triggered you to make a difference and change your lifestyle and to build yourself a career. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing,
indeed.
Laura. Anyone else want to
problem.
share your why? Okay. You don't have to.
Who's Michael? Let's get Michael Lou on it.
Michael, why did you get into real estate? He's a nice, quiet guy too. Anyway, at the end of the day, what we really want to do is obviously filling out the benefits of why. So let's imagine Laura's example. She says she got into the why because she didn't want to see that lousy agent earning a commission. Okay. So there is in Isaac Newton's law of relativity, whenever there's an action, there's an equal and opposite inaction force, correct? Whenever there's a force, there's an opposite and equal opposite force in the other direction. Think about this in your business. And using Newton's law of relativity, just think about how Laura's example, she said, I got into this business because I didn't want to see this lousy agent succeed and earn a commission. Now, so by her getting into the business and industry, she was able to help others so that they won't fall victim to all these other lousy agents out there. The consequences of her not in action are also something to consider. Okay, so there are consequences. If Laura didn't get her license, the consequences of her inaction is she wouldn't be able to represent herself buying her own dream home. She wouldn't be able to help others. She would allow the industry to continue the trend of lousy realtors earning commissions. Okay. And there's an opposite of equal inaction of every single thing that you put on your whys. For example, in my situation, if I didn't learn Chinese, if I didn't go out and improve my global perspective, and if I didn't become a broker license here for the company, the inaction would be manyfold. Number one, I did this, my why was really for my dad. And from the get-go, from the beginning, he wanted me to step up and become some sort of position or leader in the company. And I did not want to let him down. So in my eyes, my why was to make my dad proud, right? To continue the dynasty of a second generation broker. The consequences, if I didn't do this, could be a totally different outcome of where my life would be today. The consequences could be this company could have fell apart. This company could have disseminated or merged with another firm. Maybe we're not Cole Banker and maybe we're a different name. Or the consequences could be, maybe there's no good leader in this company. Okay. And at the end of the day, I wasn't born into this position. I had to earn it. Okay. Yes, my father gave me a path, but I had to open all these doors on my own. I had to walk my life and have my own path and make a lot of different decisions in between, to the point now where I don't consult with my father on certain things anymore. He's given me full reign and control and title to the company and all of the problems, and I got to solve them all myself now. He doesn't want to hear it anymore. He's now says, you're leading the train or locomotive or whatever you want,
But Mickey Mouse.
simile you want to make, and conduct this train to its new path. And I know what destination we want to go. And I'm very proud to see this train is chugging along very well along with all of your efforts. We're all putting in that coal into that locomotive, and we're driving this engine right now. And we're leading to success, guys. And I need each of you guys to set this own plan of what your actions are going to be and what steps we're going to take. Enough of the whys, unless anyone else want to add anything.
I'd like to add something.
Okay, Sylvia wants to add one more thing.
Okay. Does anyone even know what dynasty means? Do you have any idea what the word dynasty means? So when the Chang family put this agency together, they had all of us in mind, not just the blood family. So what the word dynasty means is a succession of people from the same family or people who play a prominent role in a business, politics, or another field. I just wanted to share that. I thought you would get a little kick out of that, but dynasty really owns up to what Kelvin is saying. I know that Mario was prospecting me since 2007. And I actually got my license a year after Kelvin. I got mine in 2006. So Mario was very persistent, and he prospected me and he prospected my husband, Mark, separate times, not together. So he didn't know we were husband and wife. So Mark came to me and says, there's this broker that keeps coming after me and he's really aggressive and he knows what he's talking about. I like him. We should sit down and talk to him. So then I said to Mark, our wheels are moving, our machine is moving, all our wheels are in motion. I don't want to disturb it. Let's not make a move. Let's just keep our wheels oiled. So Mario would come up to me and say, hey, Sylvia, when are you going to join my office? You become, part owner and part board of director. I have plans, I have visions. And I'm glad that he has a son and he has a daughter, and she's pretty cool too. But a son that actually followed his dad's path because he does care. So he's part of one of my wheels to get my vision going. And I just wanted to share that. Remember what dynasty stands for. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it means a lot to me, and I think we are living up to it, because I do really, I serve this office mainly because it's for you guys. Okay, I know my personal talents, and I know what I can do and I'm capable of, and I can succeed in any industry or field. But I've dedicated myself to you guys, so you have that word and that commitment from me, and that's part of my business plan. Part of my business plan, I don't know if you've shown it, but is to be available, to be providing the best service, yet consulting and being, having that leadership that a lot of people look up to and need. I want to be there for them. Okay, and that's something that I've put on my shoulders for so long. And I'm so thankful to have Sylvia help share some of this load to be kind of that shining light or some sort of listening ear to make sure that we're heard, that our clients are getting the right and proper guidance. And lastly, that you feel proud of where you belong. So now let's talk a little bit about my production. In this business plan, we need to write in and fill out what type of production we've been doing. Similar to in the past, it's a little bit more detailed. So look at this number, lead sources up here, okay? This is where you could write in, and this is many pages. Look at here. You can see 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, blah, 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 blah. So let's, for example, use this sheet, lead sources, and I'll write in the top, for example, open houses, okay? Open houses. And then the first one, we're gonna write open houses, 2018 and 2019, and you could write in 20 and 21, whatever you like. How many leads did I generate from open houses? How many listing appointments did I find? How many buyers did I find? How did I get any referrals from this? And this is a missing step. Even I personally fail to write where I get leads from or track where my marketing dollars went. Or let's say I put in an ad in Facebook or social media. Okay, I should be putting a separate lead source tracking where my new business has come from. So personally, I do know, and I asked the client, where did you get my number from, or who referred you to me? That's part of my initial buyer or seller questionnaire. I want to know where they found me. Okay, so I do that, but I don't always put a checkbox or a number on a piece of paper. This is going to be helpful to you. Why? Because if you invested any money in a campaign like just sold or just listed postcards, if you're not tracking where they came from, you're not really spending your money wisely, because obviously you want to spend the money that's giving you better results. I happen to know Julia, on her last sale in December, listed a property in Baldwin Park, sold it, and she sent out only 70 postcards to the same community in Baldwin Park. But guess what? The very next week, she got a call and someone said, I want to sell my condo. Thank you for sending the postcard. And she got that listing right away. Just because she took the effort and she did the postcards and she followed through on what she does for her clients and for her marketing for her business. And I was very happy to that she did that, because I had a client for her. So when she had the listing, boom, I sent her an offer and it went through. We're still pending right now. So thank you to Julia. She's helping me execute my plan with my clients. Now, at the end of the day, what are your expenses related to open house? Maybe I spent $100 on water, another $200 on donuts and refreshments or cookies. Okay, maybe I spent $20 each time for the Glade plugins, or I have maybe certain special listings. I did a twilight, or I had a barbecue, or I had some nicer food around. Whatever it is, track your expenses towards it. Is there any profit from it? How many sales did you make from open houses? You could do the same thing from mailers, postcards. You could do another lead generation from your church activities. And if you participate in any organization, that is a great lead referral to track where you're getting business from, right, guys? So when you fill this out and you understand what type of areas that you're going to be doing some prospecting out, that's going to help you point out to the next section, my marketing. Okay. Now, there's different strategies being used when you are trying to do marketing. Now, let's take an example regarding, let's say my marketing and lead source is I want to find buyers. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for sellers, but let's say right now, I want to work with buyers. Interest rates right now are still great. Jumbo loans, the conforming loan limits have increased to $980 something thousand. So now my borrowers are qualified for much more. And I want to get myself in the buyer train. Maybe I'm a new, whatever. Okay, so prospecting. I'm going to separate this into different categories. prospecting, what strategy should I do to find more buyers? Okay. So in the box, I'm going to fill out, well, if I want to find buyers, let me really think about my business. What's my strategy? Okay. Well, I want to find buyers who are qualified. I want to find buyers that have a motivation of less than 1 to 3 months. Okay. So now that I identified my target and my area, let's just say San Gabriel Valley, then my strategy needs to be like, okay, where can I generate these leads? One, I can do open houses every week in San Gabriel Valley and find out all these valid buyers every weekday or weekend. I'll set a schedule and I'll dedicate my Saturdays to open houses. Okay. And that could be one of my strategies. I'm gonna do this weekly on Saturday. My second buyer strategy, I want to also do a networking strategy over here. I want to network with people who are in front of buyers before they buy. Who would that be? Lenders, attorneys, people who are delivering a lot of money, people who do refinances. Okay, so I want to network with as many lenders that I know in San Gabriel Valley, because their clients are probably alike where they're from. So then if I have 7 different lenders, and then I know that they refinanced recently with that lender, because I can tell you 80% of the people out there refinanced their loan in 2020 and 21 because the interest rates were so great. Lenders were making lots of money, and they're not selling real estate, guys. They sell loans. So if they refinanced and cashed out a lot of money from their equity, they're perfect prospects, because they're probably planning to do something with that money, guys. Invest, buy something, upgrade, and a lot of people have. So that strategy, I would have talked to and say, hey, lender, I know you closed 7 loans last month. I know you have a friend in that's a realtor. Can I be part of your circle? Because that if you did 7 refinances, that other person can't work all 7. Okay, buyer's agent takes a lot of work and a lot of showings. Can you send me 1 or 2 of those leads a month? I'll work them, and I want to deliver and promise, and I guarantee you, I'll tell that client to make sure they use you as a lender and remain with them. Okay, then you're creating a win-win situation for that lender and yourself. And if I do that 7 times with 7 different lenders, if I just get 1 lead from each of those lenders every month, I got 7 leads and buyers every single month. And over a course of a year, 7 times 12 is 49 sales. And like I told you, 50 transactions is a lot, but you potentially have an area just from networking with those lenders that hopefully don't have a relationship yet. Maybe that lender doesn't have a great relationship, or maybe the timing of your call is perfect. Maybe that the realtor that they have used to be referring to suddenly let them down, let the client down, reached a complaint, or something fell apart. Maybe that lender wants to switch and find a new realtor to build a relationship with, guys. That's why you can't just do it once per year and think that you did it, you tried and you failed. You have to get them at the right time. And there are times when a realtor will do bad, the client will fall, escrow will fall apart, and that lender is searching for a new realtor to build a relationship with. So that's why you got to build this timely and be repetitive, persevere, and be in the background amongst a lot of different affiliates who can deliver you potential leads. And in this case, we're dealing with buyers. If I wanted to advertise, my strategy over here would be, well, because I'm targeting buyers, let me build an advertisement. What do buyers want to listen or will make a call to? I need a call to action. Okay, so what is my strategy? Where can I advertise? Obviously, you can advertise in social media places like Facebook and Instagram or Google, or buy yourself leads. Okay, one of the qualified lead generations in town tends to be a competitor called Zillow. And there are many agents out there who purchase a zip code and are getting a lot of leads from there. Okay, so in this specific case, you can buy a territory, a market, and buy a zip code if you want to do that way. And that advertising usually means spending money. Okay, but it takes money to make money. So I do know that the people who buy certain zip codes, they're getting 20 different buyers a month. And guess what? Not all of them are going to be great. More than half probably won't transact with you. Okay. But maybe you have a strategy to share in that expense. So I've done that. I personally built a relationship with the lender and I have him pay for all of the Zillow territorial leads. And he shares with me the contact information and details, and we share that client. Okay, you could do it too. I'm not stopping you. There's so many lenders out there to build a relationship with, or attorneys, or all these different things, and doesn't mean you have to be making that expense. Okay, if you think outside the box, or if you present better, and you give them a reason why they should help support you in your campaign, a lot of times, the better you are in presenting, the likelier you are to get a yes from that person. Okay. So some people have a very, what's called fine-tuned strategy. And maybe they want to work with buyers who are cash. Okay, that's fine. That is who was the greatest buyers in 2009 and 10. It was cash buyers. If you're off in 2009 and 10, if you didn't have cash, you probably weren't accepted. Everyone was only looking for cash offers because nothing would appraise. The market was falling. Prices were not consistent. Appraisers weren't appraising values anywhere close to the asking price. And so we needed cash buyers. Okay, that time will come again, guys. All right, because lending requirements are very stringent nowadays. And there's many people out there with cash, but don't have the tax returns or the reported income. So therefore, if I'm fine tuning myself for that, then maybe my advertisement strategy would be a little different. If I want to find cash buyers, maybe I'll look for people and I'll find people who have high net worth, people who have high stock portfolios, people who are working in the Merrill Lynch, or what's it called? Every bank has a premier class, like Chase has a private reserve clients. Bank of America has a gold or the platinum client, and every bank has some sort of levels. Those people are great because they know people with cash and stocks and equity. Who else has a lot of people with cash? Businesses, for example, Sam Wu businesses who finally got evaded by the. Can we plug this in? Just switch it up for a moment. Thank you. So I don't know if you guys heard, but Sam Wu, many of these business owners were underreporting their restaurant sales income. And they finally got audited and shut down and jailed, imprisoned. But I'm just saying, laundromats, flower shops, there are so many car washes, there's so many cash related businesses. These business owners don't know how to turn their cash into the bank accounts legally. Okay, and that real estate's a great way, guys. So if you have a strategy and you share with them, you visit every laundromat, every car wash, and every cash only restaurant, you talk to that manager owner about how they can turn that cash into a legal deposit in their bank. They will listen to you guys because they are finding and struggling how to make deposits. Because if you make a $10,000 deposit in your bank account from cash, that is considered to be a IRS reported act. And they're going to take down your driver's license, how much cash you deposited over 10,000, and they're going to ask you where that came from, the source. So maybe your advertisement is to work with Chinese buyers. There are people out there who market, and they know they market their social media in WeChat or in overseas. And they do Chinese daily news and all these different other publications that are in a different language. It's absolutely fine. If you speak a specific language or culture, you can target your own people. Oh, absolutely great. Hosting strategy, don't forget it's important to show appreciation and reflect upon your past clients, and maybe you host an event and be remembered for something. Sometimes like I've heard of great examples where they do a summer barbecue and then the agent always invites their past clients. And during that event, they say, here's a pie giveaway. I'll make sure you come in and visit us and I'll issue you this, a certificate for a free pie. And you really get that referral effect when you show appreciation towards your past clients. Publishing is some of the things that you're making in your marketing, videos, pictures. What's your online presence like? So the good thing is you get to create your own image online. If you want to build yourself a Google page or a Facebook page or a business page or your own website, you have full control of what you're putting out there. Get yourself a nice designer and create your own online presence and write up what is your value proposition. What do you offer to your clients? Okay. Secondly, I do think it's important to build yourself a video of who you are, explaining what you represent, explaining what is your why, what do you do for the community, what are your accolades and sales, this and this and this. But don't be that agent that just talks and doesn't listen. So part of your component of your presentation needs to be, I'm a great listener. I really want to focus in on and hear what is your family's needs. Let's work towards that goal. Okay. And you can purchase leads too as well, like Zillow and this and that. Any questions on this page? Okay. Now you can have several lead sources. This one was working with buyers. Let's say I wanted to make a strategy on getting sellers, listings. As agents and as a broker, I'm telling you listing.
Is Ray?
Hey guys. So any questions on that last page? But if I was working with sellers, I'm going to wrap this up to the vision board portion right now. But I'm going to say one thing. For a listing strategy, obviously, usually there's so many different ways. I've seen so many realtors out there that are sending postcards and they're getting a lot of calls. Okay. This just sold in your neighborhood. These are my company listings. And they share, they've been posting, oh, sold 50,000 over asking, 100,000 over asking. That worked. It worked for Julia. It could work for you. Even if you don't have no listings, you can use our company's listings that sold in your area. You can provide comps from the MLS, recent sales in your neighborhood. You have to represent it as long as you give credit to the brokerage. Now, when you have a strategy to focus on listings, that could be one of them, postcards. But there also is strategies in finding listings through referrals that's very, very strong. So I would say you want to get in front of people who are great referrers. And there's usually, sometimes they want incentive, but some people they don't. Some people just want to have someone that's dependable and trustworthy. That's not going to rip them off, not going to charge them a high commission or not do what they live up to on the contract. So friends and family tend to be one of the greatest referrers because they know you and trust you. So I always want to say, make sure your friends and family know your goals and know that you're available to help because they could be your best supporters. And if you don't ask, you're not going to get.
Ask for the order.
Ask for the order. And it doesn't, and there also could be other reasons why. So one of our agents says, I want to give back to the military. So I'm here because I'm a veteran. And 10% of my income, I donated to the Veteran Affairs, and they have a separate funds for veterans who are disabled. Okay, I have another person who wants to give back to their community, and they say stuff like, you know, everything that I do, it goes to my church. Okay, I put it to my proceeds on every sale.
Or the Humane Society.
Okay, or the Humane Society, whatever you want. That's if you know people love people who have a passion and who care about the community and help others. So they use it works. Okay. Another way you can do is networking, guys. I keep on telling you, people who are that have money or who have no people with money are your best people to network with. People who are prior going to sale. So you're thinking of, you know, funeral directors. is one. Doctors, okay, because they have so much time busy working, but they have no time to focus on their home or their personal lives or go out shopping for real estate. But guess what? They're great at buying real estate properties because they have high incomes. Okay, franchise business owners, cash businesses, people who are in construction. They know if there's construction going on near your neighborhood, that property more than often than not is going to be on the market in 3-6 months. Find out where the owner is, give them a call. Okay. Oh, but they bought it with another agent. That's great. Yeah, that deal's done. They're ready for the next relationship. Okay. But I don't know them. Well, you know what? They might not have liked that past agent. You don't know unless you ask. You won't know unless you try. And guess that other agent doesn't have the value proposition that you're providing. Okay. So we bring a unique thing. We need to find as many people out there that we can take appointments with. So we can advertise, we can go out and put together booths at the store. Some people advertise and put themselves on placemats. They buy billboards, they buy bench ads. Okay. I don't care what it is. Okay. But track it, measure it, see if it works for you. Okay. And does it speak to you? Is it something that has a call to action? Is it just a print of your business card on the side of your car? There's no call of action. Yeah, John.
So I don't know because you hear me on the.
Come on. John wants to share
Okay.
his.
Yeah,
idea.
I have one that kind of works. So
You can see yours over here.
oh, okay. Yeah. So one of the thing I did was actually I didn't think of it, but I was wearing the Howell Banker mask outside at a restaurant, and then someone saw it, so they approached me and asked me if I'm a realtor. At the time, I didn't have my card, but I gave them my number. They wouldn't give me their number, but we talked a little bit at the restaurant. So that kind of works. So then what I did was I took when I got my name card, I got the name tag as well, and I put on my backpack. So whenever I go out now, I either wear the mask or the name tag. It's just wherever I am, people at least will see that, at least trigger something that they'll ask. So I've given out, I think maybe 5 or 6 name cards so far. And I got one number with 5 numbers. I just told them, look, if you want to call me, you can call me. I won't force you to give you my number, but that works so far.
Cool.
I mean,
In your
totally
young
bad,
bright
yeah.
career, John, thank you for sharing that. I don't even know. I wear my Dynasty mask a lot too,
Yeah.
and it happens on a weekly basis where someone says, "Oh, you're a realtor broker," and I start dialing up a conversation. Boom, I could usually say something that I provided, delivered, or helped somebody, making them want to listen to me longer. I can deliver a response, an elevator pitch that makes me continue that conversation where you're thinking about anything about real estate, I'm your go-to man or girl, okay? In your
I've heard,
situation.
like, sometimes I have like 10-minute conversations with them. But how do you get to that point where they actually want to give you their number? Because I know people, they're comfortable with having your card, but until they give you their number, they don't consider you as.
I throw in a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, thank you. I'll give you my card. You know, in fact, I already know you're going to throw away my card. Let me give you 3 cards.
Yeah.
One for you, one for the trash, and one for your spouse or your friend. Okay. And I make it a joke. Then they laugh about that. Yeah, you're right. I would throw it away. But let me tell you this one thing before we go. Okay. I've been working in this area. I live in whatever you want to say that's unique to wherever you're at. I've been in this industry, or I've been doing this so much good things for my clients. And you told me something about you were interested in buying, for example. Okay. There are so many strategies out there on buying and in every situation, and your background is very unique. For example, don't you need to sell your property in order to buy that larger home that you're talking about? Not any ordinary agent can handle that type of transaction. When you buy something and you need to sell something, it's a complicated transaction that potentially could be a nightmare. Let me give you one example. And I give them a nightmare scenario where that contract ended. They couldn't find a place for property. Anyway, I can give you a bunch of examples that I have already given you. And I've seen that client lose, or they lost a deposit, or they didn't get, they were homeless, whatever the way you want to say. And I say, keep my business card. In fact, you know what? Let me tell you this. You told me you were going to buy in 6 months or later. How about this? I'll give you a call in 5 months or 6 months. Let me call you back, see where you're at that time. I'm not a pushy person, but trust me, when we meet again, we'll have a stronger preparation when it really comes down to buy. And I want to be there with you. Okay. If you say something like that with what's called integrity, really showing that you want to care and you want to help them with a sincere approach, they'll give you your number. They won't give you your number if they already know who they are, an idea. Like they have a sister that's a law. That's the relative agent. They're not going to use you.
Actually, two of them said to me, I'll call you, but I actually have someone who's a realtor.
Yeah. They're everyone. So when you say I have another realtor, that's great. I love it. Are they full time? Are they how many, do they work in this area that you're looking at? And I'll just say, Alhambra or Pasadena. Or secondly, I'll say something like that. You're using your sister-in-law. You want them to know your financial situation, what all the struggles going on, and the fights that you had between your husband and wife because finding a home, there's always going to be issues. I appreciate that, but you may want to consider not working with them because of the conflict of interest. Because are they genuinely caring about you? Do they send you listings and show you everything, or do they tell you to go to the open house? You know the answer. I don't know the answer. Do they send you to the open houses and are they lazy? I'm not that person. I'm going to sit there with you. I'm going to make these appointments. We're going to schedule, and we're not going to waste a lot of time because we're going to have appointments. We're not going to be waiting in the big line, nightmare, getting COVID. We'll have our own individual appointment because I can guarantee you what I deliver to you. So I can give you a ABC different reasons why, but you know why I've been able to give you this quickly is because I've prepared. In my mind, I've already thought about all of the resistant points that are going to be in a discussion, and I know my prepared response. Isn't that helpful if you said something like that?
Rephrase it in your head first.
Okay, so learn how to phrase things, guys. Learn how to phrase every single objection that you can even possibly think of. So every time you get a rejection or a objection, write that damn thing down. Think of A, B, and C ways to respond to that in the future.
Okay. Make it your own style. So that way it comes across authentic.
Okay. I've taken up too much of my time. I apologize. You guys are here for also the vision board. So this is exactly the same thing. It repeats itself here. Maybe Sylvia would now talk. The last thing is just talking about what activities are you doing? Yeah. And so
I'll wrap it up quick. And whoever wants to see me, they can come in person.
Okay.
And I can work through that with them.
So I'm going to introduce our lovely Sylvia to talk about vision boards. And I kind of want to, before just share with you is that the vision board, from my mind as a broker, I've taken this class myself. It is very important to have a daily look at what is there to inspire, motivate you, compel you to take action today and not be lazy, not sit on your butt, not procrastinate, not delay your success. Please don't delay your success. So
find the right place for
so
it.
Sylvia has some guidance on you. She's the perfect person to share with you about a vision board. Take it away, Sylvia.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. Hey, everyone. I know that you've been sitting for a couple hours, but it's a lot of substance. And I commend every single one of you that are out there. And a lot of kudos to agents that are out there that are very high volume and commission, but are not too big or too small to be here. And you know who you are, and I appreciate you. So I'll remove this so you can hear me a little bit more clear. I just want you to leave today with this in your mind. How to create your own vision board. So set up a clear goal, as you already know. Collect the materials that inspire you. What inspires you? Then choose a vision board category. What type of vision board would you like to display? A dream board, a vision board, a photo board, a quote board, anything board. Then find the right place for that vision board. Don't put it together and put it behind your desk or behind your head, your bed or under the bed. Put it somewhere where you can see it all the time and it constantly reminds you. put it on your bathroom door, you know, whenever if you spend a lot of time in the bathroom, it's there, you know, on the refrigerator, if you cook, anywhere in your car, on your dashboard, put little mini Post-its on your dashboard. I used to do that for my children on their goals. I used to put it on the dashboard because I was in the car a lot, driving them somewhere. So, and then, you know, feel the dreams, feel them to manifest them. Okay. So one little tip that I would like to leave you with, because if any of you are interested, really interested in a vision board and want to do a hands-on, come by and see me. Give me a call, text me, WeChat me, do whatever, and I will meet you here whenever it's good for you, and we'll work on this board. And I want to share with you how I want to leave you. Make care calls, make care calls. Call your clients, call your friends, call anyone and make care calls. So call them and just say, I care about you. I hope that you have a magnificent day. How's family and friends? And allow them to say, oh, by the way, I was thinking of somebody just said to me, they want to sell or want to buy. I have probably at least 15 calls that I've made that I can't keep up with my list because they have somebody they've already want to refer to me. So since then, I've already listed a condo today. It works, guys. It works. So see me, okay?
Remember I told you guys about that person that you lost relationship with 2 years ago since the pandemic? That's the perfect time to say, you know, I really starting to get my things in order. This pandemic has been crazy, but I realized that I lost my connection with you. I haven't seen you in ages.
That's right.
How are you, Mr. Seller? How are you, past client?
Right.
Oh my gosh, you know, just hope you remember me. How's life? How's children? How's your dog? Whatever it is. And then
right.
you know, I'm making my care calls because I know you still are important to my business.
Be interested in them. Be interested in them. I make thank you calls. I made up a committee at Methodist Hospital for thank you calls. And by Mark and I just calling people and saying, you know, thank you for this, thank you for that. They'll say, oh, you know what, by the way, who do I write the check out to? I want to make a donation. So, you know, just do it. I just want to share with you a little bit of topics real quick. On my vision board, I have health, career, wealth. I have faith, personal, friendship, budget. I have lifestyle, hobbies, love, and agency. So look out. I am going to be reaching out to you personally, and I am going to be doing that bi-monthly. And I appreciate you, and I know you appreciate us. And I won't take up much more of your time. And I'd like to go ahead and say thank you for being here. And make it a magnificent rest of your day. Bye, everyone. It's gonna go there.
Bye.
Bye.